Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Let Go and Let God. Today, instead of doing the daily devotional reading, I kind of wanted to talk about my journey, my faith journey, my walk with God, or lack thereof, for the majority of my life. Growing up, my parents were Catholic. We would go to church maybe once a year, whether it was Easter Sunday or a midnight mass for Christmas Eve. But it just wasn't something that was a usual occurrence in our house. My parents were definitely Catholic. I couldn't tell you if either one of them ever read the Bible. I don't even know if we had a Bible in the house. So yeah, God just was not something talked about in our house. It wasn't something I ever asked about or was taught about. Um, yeah, I wish it was something that was talked about. So as my life went on, it's not that I didn't believe in God. I just, I come from a divorced family. My parents were divorced when I was 12, and I just kind of always was on my own. I never knew any better. It was just, I'm Christine. I got this. I'm going to take care of me without relying on anybody just because of my circumstances and my parents getting divorced and moving all the time. And yeah, just not a good time. But with that being said, as I went into my 20s, I started trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life, like anybody at that age. I just knew I couldn't count on anybody else other than myself. Little did I know, I had God. I didn't know it at the time. So I trudged through my life, just always taking care of myself, strong, independent, just didn't have anybody else to count on. And fast forward to about, I'd say 2 years ago, I've been divorced. I have 2 kids. I got remarried about 6 years ago. Um, we're a blended family, so that comes with its own stresses and battles and uniqueness. A lot of struggles there. So about 2 years ago, maybe two and a half, my husband started to read the Bible, and I thought, okay, well, this is different because he and I both were not faith based at all when we met. But he's a big, huge history buff kind of person and loves reading. And he just started to delve into it out of curiosity. So, whatever, you know. So, as time went on, he kind of suggested I start reading it. And I thought, oh boy, no, not for me. Thank you. I'm good. And I just wasn't interested. It wasn't my time. And I believe everybody has a time, whether they decide they want to do that or not. And it wasn't, my timing was not right for me. Our marriage wasn't so great, but we've had a lot of struggles, and he really found a passion in reading the Bible and starting his faith journey. So it was interesting to me to watch and see him be so interested in something and kind of see some changes in him. Then you go back about a year and a half ago, things that are going on in our country, and just thinking to myself, there's something greater and bigger. And I've always believed in God, but I never had a relationship with God. I never went any further of, I couldn't have told you anything about the Bible a year and a half ago. I couldn't have told you anything about Christianity. It was just all foreign to me. Again, it was something I never leaned on or looked into. I just got through life on my own, or so I thought. So about a year and a half ago, I started just start with devotionals, some spiritual books, faith books, and kind of started reading stuff like that. And then watching stuff on YouTube. And our marriage really was struggling at this point. So I thought, okay, he's so far into reading the Bible, maybe I can find something that was faith-based, focused on working on our marriage. So I found some really awesome tools as far as books and YouTube stuff that we started to dive into. And I kind of was speaking his language now, and it really, really piqued my interest. And I then got my own Bible and started reading that, which was overwhelming. It still is to me sometimes because there's a lot, and I'm not too proud to say so much that I don't understand. It's not like it's an easy read, but I really started to have an interest in just start reading and seeking more knowledge, and it's all just been so fascinating. So fast forward to about a year ago, I started streaming church online. There's a few people I work with who suggested a church that one of them actually is a part of worship leader. And I started streaming it online. It was something my husband and I could do together. And it was just fascinating to me. I really enjoyed it. This is somebody who, if you had said, I would even watch church, not even go into a church, just watch it online, I would have said, yeah, no, that's weird. But boy, it really piqued my interest. And I really, really enjoyed that time spending it with my husband, just watching it and just learning and listening. And, you envision a way church is supposed to be as to what you were brought up with. And it's a Baptist church is the one that I was streaming, way different, obviously, than a Catholic church. But it was just awesome to me. So this past beginning of January, I went in person for the first time to church by myself. And I'm telling you, the minute the worship music started, I thought to myself, I am home. This place is home. And it was in that moment I received Christ. And I haven't looked back since. Sorry. So looking back to that moment, I think, boy, I wish I had this my entire life. And now I know God was with me my entire life. But boy, I wish I had received him so much earlier. The decisions I made my whole life, the mistakes I've made, the poor choices I had made. If I had just looked up, he was there the whole time waiting. And to finally, over the last 2 years out of my entire life, know that I am loved and I don't have to seek it anywhere else. To finally love myself. Absolutely life-changing. So I go to church. I try to go every week. I got baptized this past June, which was really the final step in my journey that has just such an amazing experience. And for me, there's no going back. I can't imagine life without my Bible, without God, without prayer. My gosh, without prayer. It's to the point where this past January, I even created a prayer closet, my own little war room, which is the favorite spot of mine in this entire house. I just love it. I could spend hours in there. But yeah, that's been my journey. There's been such a transformation in me over the last year physically. I mean, I've lost 100 pounds. I was never overweight, but the last 5 years of my life, I guess you could say I was pretty depressed, isolated, and gained a lot of weight. So not only have I changed spiritually, mentally, physically, I've just changed my life completely. All with the glory of God. I couldn't have done any of it without him. People I haven't seen in a few years see me and they have expressed that, wow, I used to be one of the most negative people I know. Boy, second to my mother, God rest her soul. But yeah, I was definitely one of those people. And now people say that there's just like a light that I'm just kind of letting out to people now. And I'm not perfect and I have my bad days. Gosh, we all do. I guess my point is, if I had just looked up 45 years ago versus waiting as long as I have and received Jesus in my life and just walk with him, go to him, talk to him, it absolutely is life-changing. So that's my journey. I'm a police officer. That's my job right now. And I retire in about a year. And my goal is to even possibly go into ministry. I go to life groups. I'm in prayer groups. I try to get my kids involved now. I don't push it on them, but they see me praying all the time, reading my 5 million books, my Bible, stuff on YouTube. It's so important to me. And I think it's pretty awesome. And if I could help one person who might be struggling like I did in my teen years or my 20s or 30s and thinking I'm alone and I got this, I'll take care of it, I don't need anybody. You do. And there is someone who loves you the way you are, who will walk with you. This is our life's handbook, and you can't go wrong. So that's my story. Sorry about that. But yeah, that's my journey. So if you guys want to share your journey, your testimony, I'd love to hear it. I think it's really cool to hear different people's stories and where they are in their journey, and it's awesome. It really is. There's people I work with who were true atheists a few years ago, and to see their story, to see their change, it's just awesome. It really is. Yeah. All right. Well, that is it, guys. Again, thanks for tuning in. Sorry, I got a little teary-eyed there. But yeah, I'm curious to hear your stories. I think it's awesome. We're all on our own walk with God, and that's what it's all about. So I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good one.